Judges are given lifetime appointments. They're not accountable to the public. They are protected. Even their salaries are not reducible while they serve in office. And so we have to know and believe that they will be neutral, impartial, unbiased, and will render judgments based on the law and the fact and not on any preconceived commitments that they may have had. Ms. Kagan is now the Solicitor General of the United States. She's taken some sort of leave of absence in recent weeks since this nomination occurred, but she holds that title. That's a part of the Department of Justice. Solicitor General represents the United States government in federal court, usually before the Supreme Court, and important cases before the courts of appeals, and often is involved in setting legal policy for the United States and helping to advise on that. So I would just say that it's important that the American people know before she is confirmed, if she is confirmed, that she has not been involved in matters that would bias her and cause her not to be able to serve impartially under the law and under the Constitution of the United States. That's an important question. Just yesterday, a day before, I believe, the Wall Street Journal had an editorial entitled "Kagan and Obamacare," in which it raised questions about the objectivity that she might bring to that and whether or not she had been involved legally in the discussions and drafting or ideas concerning the development and promotion of the health care reform bill so massively affecting health care in America, and raising the question, should she recuse herself if that comes up and she has been involved in that? And I think that's a very important question. I guess I would just want to say that a judge should recuse themselves if their impartiality might reasonably be questioned on any matter that came before them. And I believe Dr. Barrasso has raised previously his concern about what it really means if the United States government tells an individual American citizen who's minding his own business that they have to have an insurance policy. And I would just recognize him at this point and ask it, at least that he would share his thoughts on that important issue and why he believes that having a fair judge on the Supreme Court is important.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, I come to the floor today with my friend and colleague because I've just gotten back from a week traveling all across the state of Wyoming, beautiful state. This time of year, people are out at parades, had a chance to visit at several senior centers, and the question that continued to come up was, can the government force me to buy health insurance? And a lot of people in Wyoming carry their copy of the Constitution with them, carry it in their breast pocket, carry it with them. It's in the pickup truck. It's with them all the time. And they continue to go to the 10th Amendment. And they say the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. And people quote that and say, it just makes sense to the people of Wyoming that Washington should not be able to come into their communities, into our state, into their homes and say, you must buy this product. And so when I see the number of states, 20 now, who have filed suit against the federal government because of a new health care law, a law that I think is going to end up, if it is not repealed and replaced, end up being bad for patients, bad for payers, the taxpayers of the country, the people paying their own health care bills as well, and bad for providers. And you say, well, when would someone recuse themselves from making a decision? Because after all, she has been serving in this administration, serving this president, serving the president who has promoted such a piece of legislation that forces American citizens, forces the citizens of this country to buy a product. And it says recusal arises as a matter of judicial ethics. It comes down to a matter of judicial ethics. If, as a government official, she expressed an opinion on the merits of the health care litigation, this is what she would have to render a judgment on were she to be confirmed by the High Court. It goes on, it is also the question on which she is likely to have participated, given her role at the Justice Department.
This is a fundamental question. The Constitution gives the United States government the right to regulate interstate commerce. That is true. And the Supreme Court at times has taken the most minimal effect on interstate commerce and says the federal government can regulate it. But I'm not aware of a circumstance in which an individual in Wyoming or Alabama is minding their own business, not participating in an interstate commerce health insurance policy in any way, and the federal government waltzes in and says, you must participate in this. You must participate in interstate commerce. You're not participating in it, and they require that you participate in it. And if you believe, as there's only one view, that the Constitution is a government of limited powers, it has only powers that are delegated to it, and they are named, enumerated powers, then have we crossed a divide here that we've not crossed before. And that's why these lawsuits are being filed. They're very real. I guess the one in Florida may be further along than most of them. It's already out there. And Ms. Kagan, at this very moment, sits as the Solicitor General of the United States in title, if not fully acting, and was, I think, before this lawsuit was filed, fully acting. And it impacts the federal government. So the question we've asked that I think must be answered from her is exactly what kind of relationships and discussions she may have had concerning this legislation.
And I want to make sure, if it gets to the Supreme Court, that there are people on the court who side with the American people and, most importantly, side with the Constitution and what, to me, the 10th Amendment means, and what to my colleagues and my friends and the people of Wyoming, what the 10th Amendment means, which is the government can't come into our homes and say, you must do this, you must buy this product.
Finally, I do not believe the President is entitled to launch to the Supreme Court a political loyalist that will be a legal rubber stamp for anything that gets proposed, whether it's the takeover of AIG, whether it's the takeover of automobile companies, or other things that may at some point be decided. So I think we need to be careful about it, and this nominee needs to answer those questions, because what you're hearing is what I'm hearing.